is fueling pharma's future. Can new companies, NewCo, and emerging tech models fund the next innovation wave? So let me begin with kind of a rapid fire. Most of them like my rapid fire. So in one sentence, if you could tell me, why do breakthrough ideas struggle to survive inside large pharma organizations? Ma'am.
I think focus, patience, perseverance, and talent. If it gets focused onto one thing, you get better results faster.
So I think, according to me, it does survive if there is a scientific conviction. I mean, if the science is supported by robust scientific data, then that idea does survive in large pharma as well.
Let me go to Maharukh, ma'am. You have built science-first platforms from scratch. So, is the NewCo model a structural necessity for innovation or a funding workaround because science takes too long to monetize, isn't it?
I don't think it's really a funding workaround. I think it's more of a structural alignment, because when you have a science-first IP generating machine which you are putting up in this sort of a, like we say, a deep tech fund, which is a new idea, what happens is that if it is a separate company, it focuses, aligns the talent, the IP, the capital, everything is aligned towards solving some problem. And you get that concentration and focus, and you are not, cluttered with the legacy or anything else, and therefore you see many big companies will also set up the research as a separate arm. But of course, along with that comes accountability, and comes the need for governance, proper project milestones, managing your capital, and showing progress in a timely manner. And also we need to have discipline validation at every stage, whether you have it at the concept stage, and at each stage as you go, you need discipline validation, for which you need to have external experts. For example, in Amaterasu, we are developing a single-dose cure for malaria, which is like a holy grail. And we have a collaboration with the Institute of Chemical Technology, Professor Devrajan. We also have a collaboration with lots of experts in the field, medico-legal experts. We have collaboration with the regulatory experts, scientific experts. So you need to bring that validation and cross-challenge from everywhere to really see that you're moving in the right direction.
Okay. Dr. Ganesh, you sit at the intersection of discovery, translation, and execution. Where exactly does innovation break inside traditional pharma? At science, decision making, or capital allocation? You have to be genuine.
I think if I would have to say, it doesn't, the science doesn't fail at one place only. There are many interrelated aspects. But I think one critical thing I must have to tell is that the decision making. And why I have to say that, because we have been talking about innovation since morning, and it became kind of a talking point. But what it really takes to bring your idea from paper, like usually when you have idea, you have it on your piece of paper. So bringing that idea to translation, you start with, so you have to start with a robust scientific proof of concept, and it has to be validated by multiple dimensions, because usually ideas doesn't survive in later stage. It is just because there is a poor scientific value. That means you have not done your homework properly. And I think that is what the major setback we had in India. Like we have been talking that we had a first wave of science innovation 20 years back and all. I think what we usually miss is that if some idea is not working, you need to take a clear-cut decision on go, no go. And if it is not working, then you have to kill that idea and kill fast. I think that is what most of the R&Ds are missing. And I think there was someone from AstraZeneca, 2 years back, there was a landmark publication from AstraZeneca on R&D drug discovery productivity. So they have done all homework from multinationals, and the most critical point they identified is that most of the ideas fail because of weak or poor scientific value. And then they talked about the concept of 5R. So when we say right patient, right target, right tissue, right safety, right commercial value. So I think all these are important, and decision making is the most critical.
Yeah. So let me go to demystifying NewCo really means beyond buzzwords. Let's decipher that. Maharukh ji, from a scientist founder's lens, what freedom does a NewCo genuinely unlock that an R&D division cannot? Does separating innovation also risks separating accountability, and how do you guard against that?
A very good question. So everybody loves to have freedom, but freedom has its own cost. And I think what happens in NewCo is totally driven by the force behind it, which is the scientific team or the leadership team, the scientific advisory team, the leadership team. They are those who drive that. But what is also very critical is the talent. Okay, so in NewCos, you really need to get proper talent, and you need multifaceted talent. No product can be developed with one type of talent. So you need talent in all the technical areas, in all the commercial areas, in all the marketing areas, because if you're developing something which doesn't have a market, it's bound to fail. Simple. So you need that validation at each step, you need the talent everywhere. And along with that, you need the guardrails. So you need some go, no-go decisions, you need these milestones which you have to achieve with each project, certain time milestones. And like Dr. Ganesh said very simply, the most efficient way of doing it is kill fast. So many a times what happens as scientists is we get emotionally attached to what we are developing, and we don't want to give up. Okay? We want to keep on trying, and that's where you actually fall in the well. So you need to know when to stop, what to stop, and that is where that external validation is very, very critical, to get somebody else to tell you that yes, what I'm thinking is right. Maybe we can do one more study and we can get through, or somebody to tell me that no, nothing doing, this is not going to work, forget about it, get on to the next thing. So this is very important. So this disciplined validation, I think, is very key to getting it together. Of course, with governance, it comes with governance, because capital is capital, we cannot waste capital. In India, we work very frugally, but still we use capital when we do research, and we have to be very, very careful with that.
Okay, Dr. Ganesh, at what stage should a NewCo be carved out? Early discovery, platform validation, or preclinical maturity?
Again, I would say that once one has established the robust scientific proof of concept for any idea which was on paper, I think that is the right time to come up with formation of startup or company. And if you see the very common model in Western world, what we see in Boston or San Francisco Bay Area or Cambridge in UK, most of these ideas are usually started by a small group of, which will be like few people with bright mind and passion. I think that's something very critical. When I say it's robust proof of concept, then it comes all the dimensions, right? You have to do your target engagement studies, you have to validate that target properly. I think one thing, and then you do a lot of translational studies, human-derived or clinical relevant models. Then you need to know what kind of patient population you will be working, what kind of competitive landscape is evolving in that therapy area. I think most of the science, what I have observed in my last 17, 18 years is people start working on something, and maybe there is a fear, maybe there is a pressure to show that to management, and we are talking about short ROI and all those concepts. Then you try to bypass certain things which are very critical to validate your target. When you say your target is moving to clinical, then there is a less chances of failures, because most of the failures are coming because of the poor scientific ground. So when you select, so asset selection is very critical. I think that's what I have learned. Once you select your asset, you should have your blueprint ready for next midterm, maybe short term, midterm and long term, because in science relevance is very critical. The idea or science I am working today may not be relevant after 2 years, 5 years or 10 years. So you need to have your blueprint ready, that your target is doable, it is going to translate, you have a good translational value, and it should also have a commercial value. Many a time your asset you develop, you go into a clinic, you are getting the data, but there are 5 competitors sitting in front of you. So I think that's what is important.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of challenges to overcome in science, and in conferences also they've got back our LED there again. So let me go to Ms. Maharukh. Deep science often doesn't fit traditional VC timelines. So what kind of investor truly understands the NewCo risk, ma'am? And do we have enough of them in India?
No.
Oh, that's
Okay.
such a short
I'll
answer.
explain to you. Okay. So see, deep science means there is long gestation period. We work in approved molecules, new drug delivery systems, long acting and things like that. All these things take time, anywhere between 10 to 12 years to bring it to translation. And in India, specifically, we have three main problems according to me. One is there is very low risk capital available. Because I cannot promise any VC that I will give him return in 5 years. It's not possible. It's not practical, it's not real. Second is there is no, that risk appetite. You don't have VCs who can take risk appetite, who can come with you as a partner, who will say, I will partner in your ownership, I will own the IP with you, and together with you I will take it forward. We don't have people with that sort of a strength because their timelines are 3 to 5 years. So this doesn't fit over there. And third most important thing is trust. VCs don't trust scientists, okay? Because they feel they are living in their own world or whatever reasons, or because of history, because of what has happened in the past. So these are the three reasons why we don't have VC funding. So we are dependent on government funding and our own funding. So for example, again I will take the case of our single dose malaria injection. We got funding from BIRAC of BIG in 22-23. In 23 end we got funding of SIPRI to do, so you get short bursts, 50 lakhs, do proof of concept. Then you get, chalo, abhi 75 lakhs, do the next step, validation. Then now I will give you 5 crores, do phase 1. What happens with this is you lose time. If in 22 I had got 3 million which I needed, by now the product would have been in the market and it would be saving lives of children in Africa. Okay, so I need a VC who can think like me and who can understand the importance of this sort of an innovation and partner long term.
Worse than corporate appraisals, I think.
Yes, it's
Okay,
worse.
let me go to Dr. Ganesh. How should capital be staged in NewCo to avoid the funding cliff? I think ma'am has also explained it. Between discovery and transition, which is very key. Is milestone-based funding helping in innovation or forcing premature decisions?
I think as ma'am has pointed some of the things that VCs doesn't have confidence in Indian innovation because we don't have that many stories. Definitely, some of them are already started creating by Glenmark, which I think Mr. Glenn Saldana has already mentioned. Sir Pharma, their model is I think they do in-licensing from big pharmas in late stage, right? So we don't have few examples like OCAD has just created now, they have submitted NDA, I think. So unless we have a couple of examples where India started IP-driven products which are competing at global discovery value chain. After that only we will get the confidence. Now, how it should be staged, I would say that, as I said, in this life cycle of drug development, each phase becomes very critical. But then if we start from say early discovery to proof of concept to translational to safety, then safety to phase 1 where we do early proof of concept in humans. If we build that confidence to investors with each milestone with a robust data, I mean, I'm not saying you do more or you do less, it has to be optimal, it has to be justified. If we take that approach and build that confidence with investors being in that life cycle phase, then definitely they will get the confidence. So for example, at Alkem, where I work, Alixer Nexgen is Alkem's innovation subsidiary, where our MD Sandeep Singh and our CEO Dr. Akhilesh Sharma has started a different model, and I think I just want to highlight is that because so there is a one model where you in-license assets at early stage, maybe IND ready assets, you go to maybe some countries like China, Korea, or maybe Europe, or maybe from India. Or you take asset when the proof of concept has been established at phase 1, phase 2. So these are different models. We have taken different approach. We identified a few assets at Indian as well as global universities like Johns Hopkins, Harvard, YS Institute, where we funded that assets when we identified their potential. We matured those assets up to certain a proof of concept, and then now we have in-licensed them, or that IP we have taken, and now we are driving that assets to, you know, IND and all. So I think this is how you have to clear-cut define the success path, and you have to de-risk your assets.
Okay, let me come to the closing question, ma'am. 5 years from now, what will distinguish India's first truly iconic NewCo from the rest? In few words.
I think we have a lot to look forward to. The PRIP scheme has just initiated. You have the RDI scheme, which is huge, and that's one of the first scheme which recognizes that innovation needs patient capital. So you're talking of a 14-15 year horizon. I wish it was there 5 years ago. But anyway, now it's there, better late than never. So definitely that scheme, and now we have the Shakti scheme which has come in this. So with all these schemes, definitely I see a lot of activity in the biotech area. I am sure there will be some new biomolecules which will definitely, they are already there, and there are many companies who are doing stellar work in that. And I think even in the formulation drug delivery space, there is a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of repurposing work going on. So all of those are a little bit shorter than new molecules or new biotherapeutics. So definitely you will have a mix of the two, and I mean, I hope that IPA and IDMA's dream of 100 new molecules in the next 10 years should come through. Yeah.
So, Dr. Ganesh, what would make a global pharma say this innovation could only have come from India?
Sorry?
What would make a global pharma say this innovation could only have come from India?
I think again comes back to the fundamental question that if we build the programs which are competitive, like globally, the way we are talking about China story, and if we have, we have been talking, if the target what we have, if we have, say 50-100 molecules in different therapeutic modalities, not only a small molecule, but in small molecule now you have protacs or molecular glues, you have MABs, which is monospecific, bispecific, trispecific, ADCs, cell and gene therapy. If we have, you know, these kind of different molecules, and we need the clinical validation as well, because now if I go to someone with a first-in-class target with novel mechanism, and I say I have a fantastic data from lab, I don't think people are going to get excited until unless you show that proof of concept is working in human, even in a small patient population. I think exactly that is what China has done, and China has become now a early discovery engine for Western world. So I think that's something we have to do.
Final two questions to each of you, rapid fire questions. Please stick to the rule. You'll have to do a quick choice, yes or no, or fill in the blank. Do it quickly. Let's go for it. Scientific freedom or predictable funding, which matters more for a NewCo to survive?
Both.
Okay. Do large pharma environments unintentionally kill breakthrough ideas before they mature? Yes or no?
Yes, sometimes, most of the times.
Okay. Dr. Ganesh, to you. You have to fill in the blank. The biggest risk of an Indian NewCo is not failure, but you can't take so much of time. This is not fair. Okay, I'm repeating.
We are scientists, we need more time.
No.
We think
Okay.
we are not ready for rapid fire.
You'll have
We
to.
need patience.
Okay. No patience here now. The biggest risk for an Indian NewCo is not failure, but silence.
Lack of funding at the
Lack
right
of
time.
funding, I would say.
At the right
You're
time.
copied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You prompted. Good teacher. Okay, true or false? We are trying to build NewCos with the same mindset that limited innovation in the first place. True or false?
And I want to make one closing remark is that I think with whatever is we have been talking, and I must say that it is the best time to build in India, for India and for world. So I think let's take that pledge, and we hope next year when you host this, we may have few startups with all the innovative ideas with good scientific proof of concept. I think then only this, whatever we are talking and will make a sense.
I just want to add one point of view over here. I'm 40 years in the field now, And I can tell you, whenever I tell people from US or Europe that we have achieved this sort of a breakthrough with so much funds, they all are shocked because we really use capital in a very, very critical way as what we call jugaad, but in a right way. So I think that ability to use capital very, very carefully and to achieve the objective, that's a big advantage that we have in India because of the way we think.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
a big advantage.
Thank you so much. Thank you.